You know that feeling, right? You build something that is technically perfect, a real work of art, only to watch it just sit there, collecting dust. Well, for way too many data science teams, that's not just a feeling, it's their day-to-day reality. So today, we're going to dive into this frustrating gap between AI models that work in a lab and the ones that actually get used to make real, valuable business decisions.
Just take a look at this number for a second, 42%. Now, in the world of AI, this isn't just some random statistic. Nope. This number represents a massive, expensive, and honestly, a soul-crushing problem. It's the sound of potential just evaporating into thin air.
And there you have it. Nearly half of all the incredibly complex, time-consuming, and expensive models that our data scientists are building are being flat-out ignored. Ignored by the very people they were designed to help. This is way more than just demotivating for the teams, which it absolutely is. It's a colossal waste of investment and a giant red flag that something is fundamentally broken.
And look, this 42% problem, it isn't an outlier. It's part of a much, much bigger pattern of failure. A staggering 87% of data science projects never even see the light of day in production, and the average return on investment? It's painfully low. The point here is, we're not just talking about a few projects going off the rails. We are looking at an industry-wide crisis of confidence.
So what on earth is going on here? Well, to really get to the root of it, we have to understand this absolutely critical difference between a model that works and a model that is trusted. And believe me, they are not the same thing. This distinction, it's at the very heart of this entire mess.
Okay, so a working model, that's your lab superstar. It's what comes out of a proof of concept, and it performs beautifully in a clean, controlled setting with perfect data. But a trusted model, that's a whole different beast. It has to survive out in the wild. It has to give you results you can rely on, results you can actually explain, even when it's fed the messy, inconsistent, real-world data that businesses actually run on. And right there, that's where everything falls apart.
This chart just perfectly nails the trust gap. Just look at these numbers from BARC. Executives trust their BI dashboards, a whopping 85% of them do. And why not? The data is structured, you can see the lineage, you can trace a number all the way back to its source. But with AI, that trust level plummets to 58%. AI often feels like this mysterious black box, you know? It's using all kinds of data, you can't see how it got to its conclusion, and that makes leaders really, really hesitant to bet the farm on an answer they just can't understand.
And this brings us to the single most important point we're going to make. For years, we've been obsessed with building more complex, more accurate models, thinking the algorithm was the problem. But we've been looking in the wrong place. The failures, the lack of trust, the wasted money, it almost always comes back to one thing: a weak, unreliable, and totally chaotic data foundation.
Hey, don't just take my word for it. AI pioneer Andrew Jean said it perfectly. 80% of the value comes from the data. This means we need a massive shift in how we think. We have to stop being model-centric and start becoming data-centric. Real success isn't about finding a slightly better algorithm. It's about systematically engineering better data from the ground up.
All right, so how do we actually fix this? It all starts with building our AI house on solid ground. We absolutely have to get our foundational data issues sorted out before we even dream of bringing in all the fancy, complex intelligence.
This right here, this should be the mantra for every single AI project. Tattoo it on the wall. It's simple, it's direct, and it is the single most effective way to make sure you don't end up as another sad statistic. Fix the data first.
So how do you do that in practice? Well, the answer is something called Master Data Management, or MDM. And look, this isn't just about cleaning up a few spreadsheets. It's about creating a single source of truth. MDM is the process of establishing one authoritative, golden record for every critical thing in your business, your customers, your products, you name it. This is how you eliminate the data chaos that completely throws off your AI models.
Just think about the everyday headaches this solves. No more data hiding in different, disconnected silos. No more duplicate customer records that give your model a totally warped view of reality. MDM tackles these problems head-on, creating that clean, consistent, and solid foundation that trustworthy AI absolutely depends on.
Okay, so once that foundation is solid, we can finally start to build the bridge to confidence. And this bridge, it stands on two main pillars. The first is data observability, which lets us know if our data is healthy. And the second is AI explainability, which tells us why a model made the decision it did.
Now, data observability isn't a one-and-done check. It's a continuous loop. Think of it like a 24/7 health monitor for your data. It's constantly watching for issues like data drift or quality problems, helping you figure out how bad it is, and letting you fix it before it can poison your model's output and lead to bad business decisions. This completely changes the game from reactive cleanup to proactive trust building.
And here's that second pillar, explainability, or XAI. This is the ultimate antidote to the black box problem. It gives the decision maker the power to ask why. Why did the model recommend this course of action? Why was that customer flagged for review? Being able to trace a prediction all the way back to the data that created it is what transforms a mysterious number into a credible, actionable insight. And let me be clear, this is not a nice-to-have luxury. It is an absolute requirement for getting people to actually use these tools.
So when you put it all together, a solid data foundation, plus the pillars of observability and explainability, you fundamentally change your company's relationship with AI. You move away from having this mysterious black box that spits out answers, and you move toward having a transparent, trusted partner that helps you make better decisions.
And at the end of the day, this isn't just about making the tech better. Building AI you can trust delivers real, tangible business results. It helps you stay compliant with regulations like GDPR, it slashes the risk of making incredibly costly errors, and most importantly, it finally accelerates adoption and unlocks the massive, measurable value that was promised from AI in the first place.
So I'm going to leave you with one final thought. The next time you're in a meeting about a new AI project, what question are you going to ask? Are you going to focus on the model's accuracy percentage in some sterile test? Or are you going to ask about the quality, the lineage, and the reliability of the data foundation it's being built on? Because honestly, the answer to that question is probably going to decide whether your project becomes a trusted asset or just another statistic.